What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Nick Scarpino, alongside Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Nick Scarpino.
And rounding out the triplets today is Roger Picorni.
The GTA 3.
The
Hey.
GTA 3, that's
The
us.
GTA
That's us
3.
three. That's
Oh,
us
we are
three.
the GTA.
Yeah.
We're
Mike's
the
out.
GTA 3.
Mike's out.
No,
three
we're
right
gonna-
there.
We're, this is
Oh,
already
shit,
going to
Mike's
be.
here.
This is
Oh,
already
no,
gonna
Mike's
be
here.
one.
Oh, fuck. My bad.
When did Mike get here?
You guys, we're short-staffed today.
Yeah.
Greg's at PAX. Tim's down in LA seeing a game. We got all sorts of stuff's going on right now. The podcast prior to this went a little bit long. Everyone got off and we're like, what's the energy? What's going on? Who's got energy for this? Who doesn't have energy for this? We go around the table and we're like, Mike, do you want to be on this? Mike's like, whatever you guys need, it's totally fine. And you guys were like, let's just rock it, the three of us. We'll give Mike some time off. Mike goes, no problem. I don't even want to be on the podcast. Not a problem. As we're getting ready to do this, Mike pulls up a chair, a mic, and his computer and is now sitting off to the side one more time.
The coldest water, too.
Just the ice cold water.
Yeah.
sitting
Ice
up
cold
there.
water.
Just
I was
all over
looking
the
for
equipment.
juice.
Gigantic smart
I'm-
water.
I want some juice right now, Nick. I don't know if you saw, but there's a new advertisement out on the billboards around town. A new Simply Pop. Think Simply Juice, but they're making a soda pop.
So they're taking juice and just carbonating it.
Yeah.
A pop. And I
sounds
said,
about
man,
right.
I really want that.
Man, he's really
I
into
wanted
it.
to.
It worked.
No, because like you've had Simply Lemonade.
It-
And Simply
it
Lemonade
bangs.
is incredible.
I'm a Simply Pineapple man. Sometimes I go
What's-
mango
Have you ever had
pineapple,
Simply-
just
Simply Apple?
pineapple?
Mike,
straight
we
up.
got to talk about it. It's got to have the moment.
One
Why do you
day.
drink so much pineapple juice?
Why you?
Are you doing it because it makes your
Your
does
Nick,
your
why-
juice taste
you-
better?
Your baby juice sound.
Why
smell-
need to get ready
'Cause
when
you're
you
out there
can
in
just
those
stay
streets?
ready?
That's true. That's true, ladies and
Just
gentlemen.
letting you know.
Look at the shot. Look at the shot. Look at this amazing shot from Mike. Couldn't have sat in a worse place. Could have sat one over right there, but wanted to put his feet up on this fucking massive
I
speaker
had
that we
to.
have.
This thing is
Just
perfect.
wanted to be comfortable. But by the way, those seats are like the least comfortable seat we have in the entire office.
I know.
You could have been sitting in this nice cushy chair, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the Kind of Funny podcast where each and every week, 3, sometimes 4 best friends gather on this table or that truss over there, each bringing topics for your amusement. Couple housekeeping things before we begin. Hey, Alien in Review is back. It continues this week with Alien Covenant. We recorded that yesterday if you guys weren't watching live with us. Hey, it's a banger, and it's a really, really fun one, so go check that out on podcast services around the globe. Also, this Friday, history is about to be made. Snowbike Mike, the most athletic man west of the Mississippi, is embarking on the most daring quest yet, going step for step with Sam Porter Bridges in a literal marathon stream on a treadmill. A marathon stream. Here he is. He's bringing it in right now, ladies and
Wow.
gentlemen. Come join Roger and Mike this Friday as they attempt to do a full playthrough of Death Stranding 1 through the weekend, but they can only do it with your support. Will Mike and Roger break this treadmill and have to drive to Andy's home at 1 a.m. to borrow his? Probably. Mike, how you feeling about it? Good?
Oh, Jesus. Fucking, what are you doing?
Nick, I am super excited to walk on this treadmill. We have a lot of cool sub incentives and a lot of goals that we're going to do. We also have an office pool going on. I don't know if you heard, but today we kicked off the shows with a fun office pool on who can guess when Snowbike Mike will throw in the towel and officially give up walking.
Interesting.
When
I want
will
in
I
on that.
say I'm done?
Yeah.
So,
Like, this is, I like none of this is being shown.
I mean, we have a jib shot, but
Mike already sounds out of breath.
I know exactly. I am out of breath.
The jib is refusing to focus correctly.
Now,
that's
so
fine.
here's the
That's okay.
deal, Nick. I've asked the office, and of course, winner of this pool gets to go out to lunch with me and Roger.
okay.
Okay, so
I'd like to get in on this.
Yeah.
you're in. So
Yes.
when we start this walkathon at 12 p.m., let's say, most likely 2 o'clock. We know how the shows run here on the days.
Well, this podcast is supposed to. Actually, we're fine.
We're pretty close. We're pretty close
enough.
What time,
Sorry,
how
we're
many
40 minutes
hours, how many minutes, how many seconds will it take until I say, no more, Roger, I can't do it? Now, some poll options here.
Yeah.
Of course, Andy has said 14 hours. Barrett said 12. Kevin said 10 or 22. Couldn't decide between one or the other. Blessing said 7 hours. And of course, Snowbike Mike said the whole damn time.
So this is not the stream. It's just how long until you stop walking.
Until I look at Roger in the chat and I go, you've killed, I'm going to die here. I can't walk anymore.
Into the stream, right? So that includes like
Yes.
him sitting down or like, but he only sits down like during like the cutscenes, or he stops walking at the very least
Right.
during the cutscenes.
I
But
think 5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
5 hours.
5 hours of straight walking is very difficult.
Now,
But
here's
it
what
might not be straight walking though.
this is what I'll factor
Yeah,
in is
you
that the
gotta factor that in.
cutscenes. This is a Kojima game. You got some long cutscenes.
Long
in this game.
cutscenes.
That's true.
But he will walk during the cutscenes if the character walks.
No, you can't. Well, then let me change my answer. 'Cause I'm going.
But like,
You
I
gotta
don't
sit down during the cutscenes.
I don't think
you gotta rest.
No, I don't think that is the character moving that much during the cutscenes.
If the character's standing, Mike needs to be standing
Yeah.
during the cutscenes.
And we're gonna keep to that.
Oh, you're not doing. Yeah, give me my paper.
All right,
back
Blessing,
again.
update your time and put down Nick's time. So, Nick, you are going to stick with 5 hours?
Oh, 5 hours.
You think
max.
5 hours until I throw in the towel and I say, Roger, no more.
I think your legs are gonna burn so badly after 3 to 4 hours of playing this game that you're gonna be ready to sit it out for the rest of your life.
Just remember, my bottom half doesn't match the top half. My
That's
bottom
true.
half, that's the strong
Look at
part.
that.
That is
Okay?
the strong
We
part.
don't talk about the top part. We don't talk about the
Look at
top
that.
part.
God damn.
Look at these yams. okay?
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
He
Is it
climbed Mount
Thanksgiving
Everest
right now?
once on a
Those are some
treadmill.
yams.
I fixed
Well,
my
ladies and
numbers.
gentlemen, find out this Friday on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames exclusively on Twitch, I imagine. Shout out to our Patreon producers, James Hastings, Carl Jacobs, Omega Busters, and Delaney Twining. And also today we're brought to you by Imperial, Aura Frames, and BetterHelp. But we'll tell you about that a little bit later. For now, let's start with my topic of the show.
Also, I changed my number to 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours.
3.5,
Oh, you undercut me.
Yes.
I'm gonna go 3 hours, Mike.
Whoa.
You know what mine was?
No, I'll say 5. I'll say 5.
You know what mine was?
What's that?
13 hours. Over
Well,
13
you
hours.
you shouldn't be allowed to bet because
Why?
you work for the company. You, know
You
what I'm
do
saying?
too.
Yeah,
I
but
think we
my
all
thing
were.
is this. What I mean by you work for the company
Oh, I'm the one controlling.
is that I mean, you know when like they're like, oh, you can enter in the sweepstakes at Kellogg's,
Yeah.
but you can't enter that in if you have anything to do with it at all because then
Yeah.
you could like manipulate it.
Yeah.
You could fuck with Mike constantly
That's true.
and make
Yeah.
it your time. So you're
Like,
excluded
you could
from
just,
that.
I
you
can
could just
just
stand
stop
still.
moving.
Yeah.
You're allowed to come to lunch if I win, but you have to stand outside and look at me through the
Oh,
window.
okay. I'm getting cucked.
Yeah, you're gonna get cucked.
Well, you
standing
guys
in the
eat
cuck
Pizza
window.
Hut.
Yeah, we're gonna eat pizza. We're gonna eat round table pizza, and you're gonna have to sit over by the salad bar, just eat chickpeas while you look
I
while
can
you
do that.
maintain eye contact with me at all times. Here's the topic of the show.
Tots.
We have a couple topics that we want to talk about. Blessing, you brought the Met Gala in. We're gonna look at the fashion for that Met Gala and
please.
just see what Walton Goggins was wearing. But I have the two of you here, and you two are the ones responsible for Game Showdown.
Yep.
So my question to you is: has Greg Miller gone too far with the Tim Farewell tour?
Let's have a conversation. Let's go behind the scenes. Let's go behind the scenes. Let's feel this out.
Because Tim the other day, before we were starting, was like, I think we were on a podcast. We were on Gamescast. We were talking about extraction shooters.
Yeah.
And we were joking around. We got off on a tangent, and the set changed to the podcast. And Tim had a visual tightening up.
Yeah.
Like he went like this and looked around. It is so Pavlovian now that anything that's out of the ordinary here is terrifying to him. Like legitimately probably causing him to not be able to sleep at night, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
But I wonder from your guys' perspective as more, I would say, well put together human beings, do you think Greg's taking it too far?
It's infected me as well. Because today we were doing a thing where we were reading out, Bless was reading out a bunch of the details of Grand Theft Auto 6's characters, right? And he was like, okay, green light, I'm just going to keep on going. Say red light whenever you want to stop and talk about a detail, right? So then Kevin had a great bit where he changed the set. Jesus Christ, it wasn't doing that. But it turned red, right? And it turned red almost like in review. And I got scared.
What are the
Okay.
chances that he can't stop this? What are the chances that he's pressing the button and it's just not working?
It doesn't stop immediately. There's like a transition period.
But the whole set turned red. And I got so scared because in the chat was Greg. Clearly he was there because he was saying AUV, PPP, and I got so scared. I was like, is this a Greg bit? Is he calling in? Is this continuing the whole thing? So it's seeped into not just him. I think it's just all of us a little bit. So,
See, I don't mind it because I don't pay attention to anything at all ever.
Oh.
But I do think that I worry that it's one of those things where we've all been to prison, right?
Yep.
multiple times.
You definitely don't want to be the new guy. You want whatever guy's getting harassed at the prison, you want to just help the guy that's harassing him so that he doesn't turn that shit on you. And I worry that we're all doing that now. I worry that we're all just letting Greg run amok just so that he doesn't turn his sights on Blessing or Roger or me. Or
He's
Mike.
turned his sights on me before.
Has he?
Yeah, when he threw the buzzer and he threw a tantrum.
Oh, that's true.
Him and I have been
That's
not
true.
seeing eye to eye for a few years now. So it can turn on me anytime. But I think Andy's the biggest person.
That's the thing is, I think Andy was very much happy about this whole situation because that meant that he didn't have to get the attention from Greg, which I understand. I think for me, the part of Greg going too far is less about the effects that it's had on Tim and more so just the enabling of Greg Miller. And I think for me, this has been the Game Showdown season where I've realized that this office is just the Greg Miller circus, where we just let him do whatever he wants and he just goes crazy with it. And every day is, some new clownery that's going on in the Greg Miller circus. And that's the thing that I worry about a bit more is like
the war of escalation.
The war of escalation, the amount of ground that we've given him, the amount of how much of Greg is, I guess, how much of it is him feeling like he needs to do this, right? Like, this is what drives the company. This is what, it's almost a responsibility.
Oh, I see that.
Of him to, torture us.
I think you think Greg looks at the landscape, looks at the makeup of Kind of Funny, and says, the majority, the reason people like this company is because of the zaniness that he brings to it. So you think he ramps that up? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's that, plus the fact that I think he has found a way to monetize torture.
I
Speak on it.
Thank you.
That part.
Yeah. I think it's the thing of he terrorizes Tim and it's like, all right, that's what I gotta do. It's for he's able to justify it.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. He's able
right.
to justify it because the audience gives him money to do it. But how far is too far on that? Like, when it gets turned to Andy or when it gets turned to Roger?
Well, when it gets turned to Andy, it's gonna be bad.
Yes.
Because Andy will pull us into a room, and be like, all right, hey guys, we probably shouldn't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then it won't be fun anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas Tim doesn't have a choice because he's a co-founder.
Yeah.
So and it's in the bylaws of our company that it says literally the last paragraph. It says, Tim, go fuck yourself. Like literally, we'll just torture you if we want to torture you.
Yeah.
Nick,
it's cathartic.
I'll ask you this question,
Sure.
Right? As somebody who's also a co-founder
Sure.
alongside Tim and Greg. Of course, Tim allows a lot of Greg, right? Like, Tim allows his own torture because he believes in the content and he wants to make this the best content possible.
Yes.
But I think we all have a shared understanding that I don't think Tim's ever going to get to the point where he says no.
No, I don't think he will. I think Tim is along for the bit. He's what's the term, kayfabe?
Kayfabe, yeah.
Kayfabe, yeah.
I think he's along for the kayfabe for now. I think there is a threshold.
What is that turning point?
For Tim?
Is what I want to know, yeah.
I think, honestly, if we went to his house and scared him about a fire, I think that would have been the drawing point, because that was the plan originally.
Yeah.
Was for us to go to his house with Greg and then somehow convince Gia to be like, hey, oh my gosh, there's a fire in the... There's some type of leak or fire in the theater room.
Yeah.
You need to come downstairs, and then boom, we'd be there with Nick and cameras and lights, and we're fucking ready to go at 3 a.m.
At 3 a.m. in the morning.
I truly believe that would have been the turning point, because right before we did all of this, he this is not like breaking kayfabe or anything. He had no idea about the cash in, right? But he did give us the kind of push of you guys can do whatever you want. Just do it. Don't worry about me. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Just do it. Don't worry about me. And I looked at him and I said, are you sure about that? Because there's some ideas here that might fuck you over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, going to a person's house, that's probably crossing a line.
But
right?
I think he might have left it, though. I think 50-50. I think he either might have been that's too far, or he might have been
I don't think
awesome.
he would. That's the thing, is I don't think he would have said it was too far.
Really?
I think he would have been like, damn, you guys are fucks. We'll say the Tim thing. You guys are fucks.
But tired Tim is different Tim.
Yeah,
you gotta
but not
remember
really,
that.
because you have to remember the thing about Tim is that he is a consummate professional, and he understands. Tim has the ability to see what's happening outside, take a step back from his own body and be like, is this good content?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you could even see it midway through when the interview happened, when he was doing the Onimusha interview, and all the stuff started breaking. You could see him confused, but there's a little bit in his brain that's like, okay, this is kind of genius, right? This is going to be a great way, A, to get eyes on this interview, and B, to really kind of put a pin in this whole Stars in the Bank thing. I think he probably would be okay with it to a certain degree. I know for sure I would not be.
Yeah.
I know for sure
I like
that
this.
if like because there have been moments where Greg has crossed the line with me where he's like got my mom to call in, and I was like, look, dude. My mom doesn't understand what the fuck's going on. And like you're gonna confuse her and scare her. So like let's stay away from that aspect of it. But I think Greg also understands that there's like two schools of thought in this company, right? One is if a joke is played on you, ha 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 ha, right? And we all just wait for it to mellow out. Or do I escalate it?
Yeah.
And I think
Do I
Greg
have
knows
a parade?
Greg
in San
knows that
Francisco?
I have a 50-50, I'll say 30-30-30. 30% chance of being like, this angered me. I don't like this. Let's have a real conversation about it. 30% chance of me being like, hilarious, but I have other shit I got to do, so I'm not going to worry about this anymore. And then another 30% chance of how many footballs can I buy and put in his house before he can't physically inhabit the house anymore.
Yeah.
That's where my brain goes.
Yeah.
And I love that kind of shit.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are pretty even keel, and you are pretty even keel. And I think Mike, you could probably hit with a stick, and he'd still love you. Mike's like a dog.
Yeah.
You know, no matter
That's
what
too
you
far
say to
for
Mike, no matter what you do to Mike, he loves you.
Like a dog.
I would love you guys.
That might be too
through and through.
Mike picked up the microphone like it was gonna
Like,
talk.
did you
No,
say
I
something?
said I would love you guys through and through. I'd do anything for you. The GTA 3. I'd rather die.
He'd
Oh, okay.
Rather
Rather
part
die.
of the GTA.
You can show up at my house, wake me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I might wake up butt ass naked, but I'm still getting up
With
for
those
the boys.
yams.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate, Nick, that you view me as even keeled.
You're an even keel.
Because I feel like Greg does have restraint when it comes to me.
Yes.
He doesn't.
Well-
he never goes that crazy when it's just me.
Yeah, I think it's because you represent probably like the most professional aspect of our business. Like the stuff you do for the actual podcasts, the shows. I look at that and I go, "Oh, that's the actual like real professional
Yeah.
our visibility in the video game industry." Like people would see that, like Shuhei has compliments for you. People would listen to the words you say and go, "Wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about." And that's really great. But our business is always such a weird amalgamation of both of those sides. It's always the DNA of hardcore, we want to be the best at IGN versus, I mean, I brought those flowers home to my wife yesterday. And I
You
forgot,
brought them home.
And I forgot to read because no one, they left them here. I was like, oh, I'll take them home to D. And my wife picked up the note and said, hey, did you get these for me? And I was like, nah, someone got them at work. And she goes, why does it say that Tim's pee-pee no longer work? And I'm like, I don't know how we exist.
That's hilarious.
How do we exist?
That's so
How
funny.
have we not picked a lane yet as kind of funny?
That's so
That
fucking
is
funny.
hilarious.
That Nick.
That is so. And
Those
you didn't
flowers
even
home.
read the note. You just gave it
Because
to
I was
your
like,
wife.
literally, as I was leaving, I had to leave late yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Is anyone take these flowers? They're really nice flowers."
Yeah.
I'm like, "We'll leave them here, but they're pretty and like they would look good in my house."
Yeah.
And Greg was like, "No, Nick, take them home. You're fine."
Oh,
And I put it there, and I brought him home, and it's just this.
That's
First off,
so
Greg's
good.
handwriting looks like a fucking psychopath. He looks like a
Yes.
serial killer.
Yeah.
And second off, he did the thing. I mean, the note was perfect. He did the thing where it was like it started writing big and then got smaller and smaller
Yeah.
and smaller, and then kind of curled around because
Yeah.
he didn't know where he was going to go with it
That's
because he's
so
fucking
funny.
Greg Miller. I mean, really, the company is Greg in a nutshell.
Yeah,
When you think about it,
Well,
right?
I think we're doing the deep dive into the mental psychology of Greg Miller, and we're saying, oh, does he do it just because he feels like he has to, right? But I think
Yeah.
at the
Or
end
does
of
he
the
do it 'cause he
day,
can?
Greg is a child at heart, right?
Oh,
He
100%.
sees toy and he wants to play with toy. He sees Stars in the Bank, he wants to play like wrestler, right?
Yeah.
He sees the
gets
belt.
a flashback of watching wrestling growing up.
Exactly.
And being like, I want to be Edge. Or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. He gets the championship belt. He uses it way more than we've ever had in
Yeah.
this entire show, and now he's actually wearing it all day. He gets to wear the suit. He gets to do the Cody Rhodes thing. I think it is just it's wish fulfillment through and through. I don't think it is. There's less of like this
What's amazing to me though is like nobody else does it.
no one else. And it's
No one
genuine-
else
I think
does
it's
it.
earnest too. I think it's genuinely earnest.
I do wonder how much of it is the analysis of like him being a content creator, right? Of like every day needs a moment. Every day needs a breakout. I'm
Yes.
gonna put and I know that if I zero in on Tim, like he's the one
He gets it. Yeah.
that gets it.
Why?
But also like he's my co CEO.
yeah.
And so like he's
Well,
in this with
yeah,
me.
He can't leave.
He can't leave.
He's
Yeah.
locked in here.
There's nothing I can do.
He's
Yeah,
stuck.
Yeah.
And that's why I think when you start dialing it back, why do you think it is that it's always Tim?
Mm.
I think
What
he would
about
fight back
Tim?
too hard. I think Tim is Tim.
What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
No, it's just-
What are you gonna say?
I just don't think Tim would fight back. I think Tim's just like, all right, cool. Like,
No, I think the thing is that we need to account. Every man has a breaking point. Every man has a breaking point.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a moment where Tim breaks. I don't know if it's on content. I don't know if it's
I
out
don't
of
think
content.
Tim's gonna break.
I think Tim will break.
What breaks? I think that's my other thing. Is what breaks Tim?
I think it's
Because
just
I can like
maybe a parade, maybe a parade outside his house, maybe something like
I
that.
don't think that breaks Tim. Because I think here's the thing, right? When I look at Nick,
Yeah.
Nick is a man that has a lot of self-respect and a lot of boundaries. Don't cross me. Is what I see when I see Nick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tim has self-respect, of course, right? But like, Tim, I don't think has those same level of like, like, hey, don't disrespect my free time. Don't like. I feel like if I showed up to, or maybe not me, if Greg showed up to Tim's house after hours and was just like, hey, what's up, Tim, and like, fucked around with him, I think Tim would be okay with it for the most part, as long as there's a grander purpose, as long as it's leading towards something that's gonna like,
Help
go
the
viral or
business,
help the
yeah.
business or whatever.
But that's the best part about it, is that granted, I think it's hilarious and it's great content, but there's a little part of Greg doing this shit, maybe more than a little, maybe like 50% of it, that I know that Greg is just doing this for himself.
Yes, absolutely.
He's literally just
100%.
doing it to make himself laugh
Yeah.
at his own joke.
Yeah.
And that's why when you start really pulling apart the layers and like going deeper and deeper into the psyche of Greg, I honestly think there's a little part of him that's like, this whole world is just here for me, and I'm the center of it.
Yeah.
And
Main
when
character
I'm doing
syndrome.
stuff, nobody else is real. Like, we're all just AI, and he's here to make himself happy.
Yeah.
And if we make him happy too, great. But if not, we're just like playthings for his amusement.
Interesting. And Tim's trying to monetize that.
And Tim just wants to, exactly. He just wants to pay his monthly bills. That's it.
Let me pose some hypothetical scenarios.
Let's do
I
it.
like this.
Greg, in the safest way possible, kidnaps Toretto.
Yes. Okay.
Safest way.
In the
Okay.
safest way possible. It's
Yeah.
with Gia's permission.
Yeah,
like, it's all
There's like a dog carrier, you know what I
dog
mean?
care,
Like, yeah.
and then he kidnaps Toretto for, let's say, 3 days.
Oh my god, it's way too long.
and like makes content out of it, turns into a vlog, right? And like
Yeah.
leaves like Riddler notes
Yeah.
at Tim's house to be like, I have Toretto. This is how you get him back, sort of thing. Do you think that'd be too far? They do it for Tim. Do you think Tim would be like, all right, this is where you're
If Gia is in on it, then no. If Gia was not in on it, then yes.
I feel
absolutely.
like even if Gia's in on it, I feel like Tim might be like, no, you can't do that. You can't.
I mean, dog napping might
Might be
be
his
a
bridge
line.
too far.
Yeah, but I don't know. I
mean, what if it's the dog's happy though? Maybe that might hurt the most. If the dog's happier than ever,
the dog?
you can see the dog.
He's recording Toretto the entire time. He's like, look, he's smiling. He's smiling for the entire 3 days.
He's not
like,
barking a lot. He's just enjoying his life. He's sleeping. He has no anxiety. It's perfect.
Oh, no.
Here's
no.
scenario.
You cured the dog.
Scenario number 2, right? Greg, of course, does like a lot of the interfacing with publishers, developers, get interviews and all this stuff, right? Greg gets an email, an email from Nintendo, and it's like, hey, we want Kinda Funny to interview Miyamoto about the next big Mario game, and Greg says yes. And as a bit, Greg impersonates Tim, doesn't tell Tim about the Miyamoto interview, instead has Miyamoto fly down, sits down with Miyamoto, and Greg introduces himself as Tim Geddes, dresses up as Tim Geddes.
Yep.
It just does a full interview as Tim,
Yes.
Doing an impression.
as Tim, doing an impression as Tim.
This is just burning content. These are just good ideas.
It doesn't tell anybody else. Like Greg does this. It's just Greg and Kevin that do this whole thing.
Wait, that's just actually a great idea.
This is a great idea. This
And
is a
then
great
allows
idea.
it to go live. And Tim learns by seeing Kinda Funny Miyamoto.
And then
Tim
Greg
Geddes
is like,
interview.
for the entire week, we got a really special interview coming up. Like, it's a personal pet project of mine.
How much did that piss off Tim? And do you think that's a line? Because I think Tim is also like, you can't do that ever again.
No, I think Tim would love that one, actually. I think
That's a coin flip for me. That's a coin toss. for me.
Really?
Yeah, because I think Tim has an ego. He does. And I think Tim's reputation in the industry is very important to
Yes.
him. And I think that if you did anything like Miyamoto's like God tier to Tim, right? That's like that's like the GOAT of games for him. Tim is a Nintendo boy through and through. The ability to sit down with that person, I think he actually has interviewed him before. So I don't know how he would take that.
Because I also imagine
Because there's a possibility that Miyamoto's like, oh, you're just like, how insulting is it A, to the man that you would play a joke on. He'd have to be in on it. And
He would
B,
be so blackballed from Nintendo forever.
oh my God, forever.
Forever.
But B, you would. But if you somehow pulled that over on Nintendo, how insulting is it to Tim that they know so little of him that they don't know they can't tell the difference between him and Greg Miller?
But also, how funny would it be fussing the picture of Tim watching the thing live, and we just see his face. Now we got to do it
Because now I'm thinking of like the level of like. Is it Greg as Tim, or is it Greg as a caricature of Tim?
Yes.
Is it Greg
Well, I
wearing
mean-
like a Pokemon outfit and like having like a Super Mario World like cartridge,
Yeah.
or like the 3D or not 3D All Super Mario All Stars
Bomber
cartridge?
jacket and blue context.
Yeah, and being like, hey, can you sign this for me? And,
Dyed hair,
like going all the way in.
That's so
Tim,
good.
I don't think it would be that hard. Tim went well because Tim went as Greg for a Halloween one year.
Scary.
And it was eerily
Yeah, it
close to
is.
each other.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually have very similar body types now, and like they're similar in height to each other. The wild card though is I think Greg could do Tim for 15 minutes, maybe 10, before he started
would start
laughing
dying.
maniacally.
He would start dying.
But there's no way that Tim could do Greg. I just don't think that he could ever do that.
No, he couldn't. No.
I mean, we'd have to go comb through the archives and figure out all the Greg sayings. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Grandma Miller be damned, or whatever the fuck else he used
Yeah.
to say. But I just don't think Greg could pull it off. I don't think he's got the stuff, candidly.
Greg.
Yeah.
To pull off
Oh, he
Tim
can't
for
pull off
an hour podcast.
No, there's no way.
That is a level of commitment that I don't. Not that Greg.
But are we
doesn't have
getting
that level.
Miyamoto for an hour? You know what I mean? We're going to
That's a
Miyamoto
good
for
point.
10 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
it would have to be like a 10-minute interview.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I don't think I can trust Greg to play a character for an hour,
Let's- oh
but
my
for 10
God.
minutes,
Here's
He
the
could do
thing.
it.
Let's dial this back because we're not going to get access to Miyamoto. It's not going to happen.
No?
But we have access to any American game publisher. Pretty much, like we could get anyone, right?
Yeah.
With the rare exception of like maybe some of the super ultra like we're not gonna get any Rockstar guys or anything like that, but like we could easily get. Wow, see they would all know Tim and Greg. That's the problem. Anyone who knows Greg, in
Miyamoto's
America
the only person we
knows
can
Tim.
do it with. Miyamoto's the only person we can do it with, or
that would
maybe
hit hard enough.
or
for Tim.
maybe the Sonic creator who was in jail.
Yuji Naka.
That might
But
be perfect.
I don't think Tim idolizes that guy. That's the thing is like it has to be.
You only started idolizing him after you went to jail.
Yeah, like it would have had to been the Onimusha developers.
Yeah.
Which
got
like
it.
thank God we didn't go that direction.
Yeah.
You got to get him in on it though, and the interview has to go south fast,
Mm-hmm.
and it has to be like very offensive, both to the developer and just the
Sakurai.
the Japanese culture.
Oh,
in
Sakurai
general.
would be great.
Yeah.
Sakurai
Sakurai
would
would
be
be
insane.
would be actually the guy. Sakurai would 100% be the guy.
Now somebody else makes a good one. Tony Hawk.
Shit.
Tony
Yeah,
Hawk would
but
be real
Tony,
good.
the thing
He's
you
met
have to
Tony
remember
now.
about Tony is that he
That's true.
doesn't give a shit who any of us are.
No.
So
Mm.
I don't think the joke would be. I don't think it would matter
No.
because Tony Hawk. I mean, personally, I've interviewed the man. He's been in the public eye for so long that I don't think he gives a shit who anyone is
No.
anymore. And like, he's not gonna mostly he's never gonna know who Tim is, so it doesn't matter. Whereas Tim has a shot of Miyamoto like knowing him and like respecting him. Whereas Tony's just like cashing checks and doing the next Tony Hawk Pro Skater or whatever the fuck's
Making up a
happening. and that's
bajillion
pretty much
dollars.
it, Yeah.
Do you think Tim will ever participate in the war of escalation?
No,
Mm.
because I think Tim is ultimately a peacekeeper in this office. I think one of his main jobs is obviously leading a lot of the initiatives from like a content strategy standpoint. But I think his secondary job, and perhaps his most important job, is keeping the peace between every single person that works at this company and making sure that everyone's happy and moving forward in a productive, happy, like positive way. Greg is an agent of chaos. And I think there's a part of him and a part of me that sees Tim doing that. We see the value in what that brings to the company and what that brings to enriching everyone's lives here. And we just want to light it on fire. We want to burn him alive on fire. And I don't know why that is.
I mean, it's the younger brother of it all, right?
It's
Like,
the younger,
that's-
like more successful brother. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's got like, I look at him and I'm like, you know, you got your life put together. You're tall, you're good looking.
Yeah.
You're younger than me.
Yeah.
And
got a home
you're
theater.
just such a nice human being.
Yeah.
And that can't stand.
No.
I can't.
But that's
abide
what I'm
that.
saying. There has to be a moment where he breaks. Every man has a
But
moment
what does
where
that
they break.
mean? You know, once the dam breaks, there's no putting that water back in. Do we want that?
I think there will be a war of escalation one day. I
What
don't
do
know
you
when.
know?
I don't know
What
when.
do you know? What do you know?
I don't know
Roger?
anything. I just look at
Here's-
him. I just look at him and I just see a man that almost breaks multiple times.
Well,
I
now
see
we have to Now we have to figure out where our allegiances lie.
in the
do we-
war against Tim and Greg.
In the war between Tim and Greg,
I'm sneaky on
in the
Tim.
kind
I
of
think
funny
Tim.
civil war,
Yeah,
do we side with
it's a good headline right there.
Steve Rogers, who is Tim, or do we side with Iron Man, who is Greg?
I'm on Team Tim.
I don't want to take sides.
You
I do.
have to.
I'm already on the side. I think
I
Team
don't think
Tim.
I
It has to be
can.
Team Tim because Greg too out there. You know what I mean? He plays his hands too much.
Yeah, but Greg is scarier. Like, I don't think.
But Tim is sneaky. He's a schemer.
Yeah, but like, does he have the stuff to take it to where Greg would be willing to take it?
No.
I don't think so.
I think he has the smarts. The thing about Tim is he's got the smarts to do it, but I think Tim is like the American president in The Sum of All Fears. Stick with me on
The
this
what?
one, right? The American president in The Sum of All Fears, the Tom Clancy book,
Oh, okay, yes.
where he's sitting there and he's trying to figure out what the Russian prime minister is going to do. Are we going to start shooting nukes at each other? But in the back of his brain, he's like, I need to do something to de-escalate this, because if I let one nuke fly, the entire world is gone. Tim's never going to let that nuke fly. And we know that. That's why he's always good to negotiate with. And when I say we, me and Greg are Russia in this particular instance. We are
Naturally.
willing to just nuke everything just because it's funny and cathartic.
Yeah.
But I don't think Tim will ever. I don't think Tim takes it up at all. I think he continues to just go, that was funny, monetize the content, that was funny, monetize. Because I think there also is a part of Tim that just knows that at some point in the future, something will burn this entire business down, and he's just staving that off for as
Yeah.
long as possible.
The thing is, like, Tim's played Last of Us 2, right? Like, he doesn't want that back and forth war that's never going to stop.
He wants to end the cycle of violence.
He wants to end the cycle of violence. I think in the scenario where Greg interviews Miyamoto while impersonating Tim,
Oh, a scenario, by the way, that we have completely made up right now.
I think in that scenario, Tim is like 95% more likely to be like, "Hey, you went too far," as opposed to being like, "I got to get you back for this." Because I think then it gets scary of like,
How does he get him back, though?
How does Tim get Greg back? And if Tim does, how far does Greg take it then? Because I think Greg then goes nuclear on
That's the
whatever the option
problem.
is.
That's the problem,
Yeah.
right? Is Greg's the wild card? What's
Yeah.
he gonna do? What is he gonna do?
Because like,
He's insane.
is there? Because I guess on the flip side, right? Like, is there a way for Tim to go too far with Greg?
No.
I think the
Yes, absolutely, yes.
You,
Because Greg has boundaries.
yeah,
We just
yeah.
never test those boundaries.
All right. I don't want to
Like
keep
if
on.
we showed up at Greg's house at night,
Kidnap
he would
Cole.
not be happy about that. He would not be happy about that.
I think I have a solution to this, but I think we should save it for after the ad break because I have a
Ladies and
solution to
gentlemen.
this whole problem.
Let's take a break to hear from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Imperial. We've told you all how important it is to developers to wishlist games that you're interested in. So if this sounds cool to you, make sure you wishlist it. Imperial is a complex, feature-rich action RPG where you'll be sent to a planet in a far-off corner of the galaxy to explore an imposing monolith. As an elite mercenary, you'll join the expedition tasked with unearthing the secrets of the monolith and face off against the deadly automatons within. In Imperial, you'll explore 4 vastly different quadrants of the monolith, accessible only by using mysterious artifacts known as cartograms. Each cartogram affects which enemies, boss fights, and loot will appear when you enter the monolith, so no 2 excursions will be the same. Find even more cartograms to explore by looting defeated enemies or buy them from other players online at the trading post. Imperial features 3 weapon archetypes: the fast-paced acrobatic glaive, the defense-focused mace and shield, or the devastating cannon, with a range of customizable skills and abilities that can make short work of the awaiting automatons. Your weapons and abilities can be changed before any excursion into a cartogram, so if a loadout isn't working for you, you can mix things up to create the perfect playstyle. Help the members of the expedition in deep branching quests and aid other players in asynchronous multiplayer. Get ready, mercenaries. The monolith awaits. Imperial is available May 8th on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. Wishlist now. It helps so much. Wishlist Imperial.
This episode is brought to you by Aura Frames. If you haven't called your mom in a while, here is your reminder to do it. But then you want to go above and beyond. Mother's Day is coming up, and I have the perfect gift idea. Aura Frames are incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. Plus, you can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's ready to go right out of the box. It's a gift so special, they'll use it every day. Greg, Kevin, and a ton of people here at Kinda Funny are obsessed with their Aura frames. It takes about 2 minutes to set up a frame using the Aura app. So the next time you need to call your mom, you could also send her a new pic of you from that trip that you're telling her all about. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's AURA frames.com, promo code Kinda Funny. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. The show is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's super great that mental health awareness is growing, but there's still progress to be made. 26% of Americans who participated in a recent survey say they have avoided seeking mental health support due to fear of judgment. We can do better. No reason for fear. BetterHelp has over 10 years of experience matching people with the right therapist from their diverse network of more than 30,000 licensed therapists with a wide range of specialties. Some of my best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. We're all better with help. Visit betterhelp.com/kindafunny to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindafunny. BetterHelp.com/kindafunny.
And we're back.
Roger had a thing to pitch.
What's your pitch?
I think the only way to do this is we can't have escalation on Tim's side. We can't have escalation on Greg's side. We need a third party, and I think that means that Andy needs to grow up.
Andy
and grow a set and actually figure this out.
He won't do it.
No.
He need to win. He
won't
needs
do
to win
it.
Game Showdown and fucking actually shut these motherfuckers up.
Yeah,
Okay, well
only
now
way.
we're talking about the impossible. Come on.
Okay,
Let's be
I didn't know
real.
we're talking about fantasies.
I didn't know
right
we're
now.
talking about fantasies.
That's the only way.
And Andy will never get involved. Andy's only ever, and this is a compliment. This is going to sound like a negative, but it's a compliment. He's only ever 90% in this office. He keeps a little back for himself at all times. And that's smart.
Yeah.
Because if he commits that 10%, then he's in, and then he's fair game for Greg.
Yeah.
We still text Andy all the time, me and Greg.
Never.
We're on the same thread.
Oh, really?
I texted him Sunday. Not Andy. I just text Greg on the thread because I enjoy having Andy
see it
back and forth.
That's hilarious.
He hates it. Yes.
What are these conversations like? Hey, how you doing? How's your weekend?
Do it right now. Hold
Oh,
on. I'll just
shit.
pull it up.
This
for
for
you.
real?
Wait, I had no idea about this.
Can you
Oh, we
imagine
do it all
just
the
being
time.
in a text thread with Nick and Greg?
Just
So they're
talking about their
talking to
lives?
each other. I'll block both of your numbers so quick.
Sunday, 7:29 p.m. Greg, we need to normalize wearing zip-up hoodies with no shirt underneath. Greg replies, I want to wear my blue suit to mock Tim tomorrow. But in review next week, I'm in. Andy, you brave enough to three-way with us? ? Andy didn't respond.
Does he ever respond to that thread?
No,
Never.
because he
So
knows if he
fucking funny.
responds, it will just keep it going. The thread's going to go no matter what. The question is, how much pain do you want along with the medicine?
Yeah. And the more that you respond in that thread, the deeper you are. right?
Exactly.
And then you're part of the assholes, and then it becomes a whole thing.
Exactly.
I do think he's the solution, though.
You think
he has
Andy's
to
the
be.
solution?
He
See,
has
I would
to
think
be.
Nick would be the solution.
What am I going to do with this? I'm in. I love it.
You want to be the solution out of all this. You need
Because
to.
I think Nick is the closest to Greg as far as where he'll take it. I guess Greg might get a bit more extreme, but Nick will get funny. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yes.
like Nick, I think will find like the goofiest shit possible to introduce to like this whole.
Start sending footballs to people's houses. Yeah.
I got him
Yeah.
with that football shit. I got him. I was waiting till I was like, he's gonna figure this out. And like
It's
the
so
third
good.
football that came, I just saw a
Like-
text pop up and go, haha, I get it. It's just the fucking receipt. I was like, I fucking nailed
It's
this.
so
The
good.
thing though, the other thing is if you want more chaos, if you want to lean into the chaotic element, then you bring in Kevin as a third person.
That's
Because
nuclear.
Kevin will cross the line
that's
so
nuclear.
quick.
That's nuclear. No, that is the
because
nuclear bomb.
Kevin will cross the line too
Shit.
hard, and then nobody will want to play anymore.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's how
like,
you did it.
I think
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
you need. Yeah.
See, that's Tim. Tim always knows he has the Kevin nuclear option if he needs to.
Yeah.
He'll bring Kevin, and Kevin will put this fucking kibosh on all this shit right now.
We're exploding it all.
Yeah, he's gonna explode it all right now. I have another thought. I used the time you guys were talking to not pay attention to you
I
and
love
think
that.
of something else
Mhm.
because we're in the brainstorming phase. Tim used,
Oh no.
you know how Tim used to like go do those fan films like Danny would like hire him to go be like the Pink Ranger or the
Oh,
Yellow
yeah,
Ranger.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
like, it'd be like him and then like some YouTubers and then like one dude from like a TV show 30 years ago.
Yeah.
What if we orchestrated that again? And we did a Nathan for You where we just conned Tim in believing he was in a fan film and we got him to do crazier and crazier and crazier shit. And then at the very, very end of it, Greg's just there.
I love this. I mean, it's a whole day of filming, like
It's
12
like,
hours.
no, I'm talking like
12 hours.
like it goes. We see how far we can push him into the night. Of like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tim. We just need you for 10 more hours.
What, 10
When you say crazier shit, are you talking about like Fear Factor type shit? Like
I'm
he's
talking like
eating
we need you to
cockroaches?
eat donkey dick or
Whoa.
Jesus. And like
that
we
was
need
a
you to
Fear
wear
Factor
smaller
episode.
and smaller outfits until he's like just wearing the Borat thong.
Yeah. Just push
I
it. That's
love
the
that.
breaking
Like
point.
how much
Can-
of Tim's body hair can we
Wait.
see before he goes like I'm not doing this anymore?
Can we trick him into thinking it's a Mr. Beast thing from Carl?
That's a great
Like
idea.
and like,
So
oh yeah,
smart.
Mr. Beast's not gonna be here. We just need you to submit all these things.
Yeah.
if you
Carl
do all
will
these
just be
things,
here.
Beast will come. You know,
Oh, okay.
not see you.
Finally.
Okay, get your head out of the gutter.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah, come on.
There's something here, guys.
I like that. I like that idea.
It would have to, I think, start very subtle, like very minor inconveniences of like they said they would send an Uber and they didn't.
Yeah.
So like Tim has to
Yeah.
figure out, he's like, oh fuck these guys.
Because
Whatever.
Tim will do
He's
it.
a walk.
Tim never bails on his stuff. Tim, I've been through some crazy ass productions with Tim before, and he is just hung in there. Tim has the ability to just put his head down and just get through the thing, no matter what the thing is. Whether it's like hanging out with people he doesn't want to hang out with, or doing a production or whatever, he just goes, "I don't want to be rude. Let's just keep doing
Let's
this
just
thing."
do it.
Whereas I have a breaking point where I will just walk off of the set and be like, "I don't fucking want to do this shit anymore. It's not worth it for me." I do want to point out that C Twigs 10 in the chat says, "How come the top search for Tim is that he's leaving KF?" This is exactly what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, that maybe.
Greg orchestrated it so that people everywhere think that Tim is leaving.
So
Kinda
I
fun.
think that might be the reason why I'm thinking this is going to be a breaking point, right? The amount of people that I have seen, professional people in the industry that have walked up to Tim, and the first and only thing they say about Kind of Funny is, "I heard you're leaving." Like, you know,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
like we saw it, we
Oh, yeah.
witnessed it,
Oh, yeah.
we witnessed it so much during the Nintendo event, and it keeps on happening to him.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the breaking point's going to happen. Just one person's going to come up and say, "You're leaving Kind of Funny," and he's just going to fucking break. He's like, "Fuck this, fuck this, fuck
I don't
you."
think
Greg.
he will, man. I think
then he's
think
gonna get
it'll
back
just
at him.
continue to crush his soul more and more. I think if anything, real talk, I think if anything happens, it's just Tim's going to have a heart attack one day
Oh.
and just drop dead.
Yeah.
I think he's taking all this stress and just shoving it into his arteries.
That God blessing.
And something's just going to pop. One day Tim's just gonna like his left eye is just gonna bang, like his left eye, bang, and that's it. He's
Yeah.
done. Stroked out.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Our pizza's here, by the way.
The question
The
is
pizza's
the
here?
camera
Yeah.
on when that happens, and can we make content?
And yeah,
out
can
of
we
it?
make content out of it?
Mike,
you
can
wanna-
you get the pizza? Thank you.
Mike's putting his Halo 3 hoodie on, his best Halo 3
outside.
hoodie, and he's doing it.
He's looking
All
good.
right,
That was a good discussion.
that was
was
a good
great.
discussion. We have a few more minutes left. I do want to talk about the Met Gala.
Yeah,
I
mean,
want to go through this.
Did you guys check out any Met Gala stuff?
I saw
yesterday?
Joey was looking at some of the fashion yesterday. She was telling me the theme of it, which was interesting. And so I did want to go through that real quick for the last like 10, 15 minutes.
Is it
of
in
this
the
whole
assets, or
podcast.
did you send it to Kevin or anybody?
I think, did you send it to me?
I sent it directly to you.
No.
Oh,
I
my
did
bad.
not.
So what-
I
That's
thought you
okay.
said send it to me.
Nah, just,
What
it's
was
fine. Just
the
send it to
theme
assets.
this year? I want to get this right before I start roasting some people. It was
Superfine tailoring black style.
yeah, so it was black in terms of like African American like style, like
Yes.
that type of deal. Okay. Did you see Lisa from, I believe she was from Blackpink? Did you see her outfit?
No.
Kevin, can you type in Lisa Met
Oh, he's
Gala?
got to bring it up. He's
Oh,
got,
you-
he's got a
okay.
full list that
I
he's gonna
literally
send to
just
Kevin
sent the
right now.
Vanity Fair page with every
So we'll
Met
go
Gala.
through
We gotta
Listen, we'll take
look
a
through
look.
Lisa specifically because it is the most atrocious, offensive thing I've ever seen.
Really?
Dude, unbelievable shit that she did. It is like a level of like,
So
I
wait.
can't believe that anyone let this happen.
Let's stop
So-
for a second. So the theme is actually, say it one more time.
So it's Superfine tailoring black style, right? It's basically to read the part of the first paragraph, right? Like the world is once again reminded of the indisputable role fashion has played in history, as much of the evening's conversation centered around the cultural and historical examination of black style in relation to Superfine tailoring black style, the Costume Institute's spring exhibition.
This just seems like a terrible idea for anyone who's not black to
Yes.
be a
Yes.
part of this.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
And I'm looking at Walton Goggins up here, and I'm just thinking to myself, That you're threading a line right now, Walton, with what you're wearing here. Like he's basically dressed as a I don't know, a stereotypical pimp. What is he doing?
No, is it? No.
So it's well, here's the thing. It's like a note to dandyism, right? So jumping forward in the article, the exhibit, which includes a collection of garments, accessories, paintings, photographs, decorative art, and more from the 18th century to the modern day, presents visitors to the New York City landmark with a cultural and historical examination of Black style that has dandyism at its epicenter. It opens, goes on to talk about it,
real
right?
quick, I don't have access to this because I'm not subscribed.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's a good
You're
point.
subscribed to Vanity Fair. That's fire.
Am I? I don't think I am.
Yeah, maybe you are. Maybe
Fuck,
just,
I should
that's how
turn
you
that
find
off.
out.
It is partially inspired.
All right.
That's $15.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
just, Kevin, if you could just type in Lisa from Blackpink Met Gala, because we just
Yeah, I
need,
wanna see
we
what
need to
Rob
talk
is
about this
talking about it.
specifically.
Let's talk about this.
We gotta fucking
because
we gotta
I
talk
heard
about
this theme yesterday, and Joey was going through it. And I was just like, "There's gonna be some fallout from this,
Yes,
right?
So-
and this is the fallout.
Someone's gonna take this too far and not understand the theme.
For a little bit more
It's
context,
gonna be
right?
wildly offensive.
It is partially inspired by slaves to fashion, Black dandyism, and the styling of Black diasporic identity, right? So it's taking like essentially styles of the past that are rooted in like older Black culture, slavery, like
Yes.
multiple things, and bringing it up, right?
Yes.
Sprucing it up, kind of thing. Which
Very
is
interesting.
risky depending on who you are.
That's what
and
I'm saying,
and
right?
what direction you go.
But
with
it's
it.
evocative, and that
Yes.
is interesting to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And obviously, when you brought this up and I heard the theme, I was like, we should have a conversation about this.
Yeah.
But just seeing, let's look it up as soon as Kevin gets the picture.
Yeah, I'm trying to find like there must be like a thread, like a Blue Sky or Twitter thread that is all the looks.
Yeah, Joey
Holly
was
Berry
looking
looked
through.
incredible.
What's that?
Wait,
Holly
Dude, a
Berry.
lot of people looked incredible. Sabrina Carpenter looked fantastic too.
What are you saying, Kevin?
Lisa.
Lisa, just type in Lisa.
Blackpink.
I believe she's in Blackpink.
I typed in Met Gala 2025 Lisa.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yes. Okay, so if we can find a photo of her from like the front on, keep on going down because
Hold on. This page is like.
That's okay.
There it is.
Keep on going
mean, it
down.
looks
Let's see
fine
if
to
we
me.
can find it. Okay, so
I don't
maybe
think
it's on
anything's wrong
there.
with
Maybe
this.
it's on there. Maybe if we could keep on scrolling down actually a little bit more. No, it's just the old stuff.
Kev, I'm gonna give you another link from Vogue.
Yeah, so she had a bunch of, I believe, Black women throughout history on her outfit.
Okay.
She had
Interesting.
Rosa Parks
Okay.
No, don't say it.
on her vagina.
Oh,
On her JJ.
that's not where I thought that was going.
It's, if you zoom in to her crotch area, which she is wearing just pretty much panties, it is Rosa Parks.
Is there any
On her
part,
vagina.
Is there any part of your body you can put Rosa Parks that's not kind of offensive?
I thought you were gonna say that like
Fucking
put it
insane.
toward the back or something.
Is it more offensive for the front or the back?
It's not a good
Jesus
image here, but
Christ.
like if you zoom in, it is absolutely Rosa Parks on the vagina.
That's
It is
crazy.
That is
obscene.
that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Where if I were
Hey,
a
man.
publicist, I'd be like, maybe you sit this one out, guys. Maybe you sit this one out.
It's like at that point, just wear a regular, like just whatever, like regular
Just wear a
regular
dress.
dress. Just wear
Yeah.
a dress. Wear the whatever. That's crazy.
Man.
Nuts.
I want to see more. I want to see who
I-
else did it right and who did it.
So Coleman
wrong.
Domingo always goes
Well,
crazy.
Coleman Domingo's got amazing style.
Coleman Domingo's different.
He just looks great no matter what.
Oh yeah, this is a zoomed.
Oh, so it's like their
Oh.
portraits.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but
You thought it was a
still.
JPEG?
No, I think I thought it was the names.
Oh, that's even.
Oh no, it's a picture.
Which is
Yeah,
even worse.
That's crazy.
Huh.
Oh my
Interesting.
God.
Kev, I dropped the Vogue page. Hopefully that works
Let's
better.
take a look at this. Okay, Rihanna looking good.
Yeah.
I mean, Rihanna always
Always
looks
always
good.
looks
and
amazing.
Marc
Pregnant
Jacobs.
again.
Praggers.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was the same baby. I was like, damn.
Oh my
She's
God,
been pregnant
Coleman
for a minute.
Domingo looking
But yeah, look at
amazing.
Coleman Domingo.
He's
dude.
so gorgeous.
I know there's great audio content.
Who is that?
That's
Lewis
the
Hamilton.
F1, right?
Us.
Oh, was he in F1?
Is he? I don't know. F1.
Yeah,
cool.
F1.
I'm right.
Mike says F1.
Got it.
We got Pharrell.
Pharrell always looks good. I like the boot
No
cut.
hat. What's up with this hat?
Would you guys ever want to go to the Met Gala?
Fuck
like, would
no.
you want to dress up for the Met
Fuck
Gala?
no, dude.
No?
I mean, I
This
would.
is my dream.
Fuck no, dude. I'm not a fashion person. I don't like dressing up like this. And I something about like just the whole vibe of just like a bunch of celebrities come around and just jerk each other off and dress up. And I just hate this. I hate
What?
this.
Oh,
I don't
dude.
know, man.
Who's that?
Kevin,
right
if you can
there?
scroll
I'm like a
down
hater.
to that's Emma Chamberlain. If you scroll down to where Tiana Taylor is, I think she's like one or two. This is her.
Tiana Taylor looks fucking
Come
incredible.
on.
And she had the do-rag underneath this. Incredible.
Come on.
She looks so good.
I would love to go to something like this. I don't
Yeah.
know, to get styled by like a professional fashion designer, like partner up and be like,
Oh, who's that? Zendaya.
let me be
Zendaya.
your
Great
canvas.
Louis Vuitton. I mean, I will say this. Who is that right there? Is that Halle Berry?
Haley Bieber.
That's Haley Bieber.
Bieber.
Justin's wife.
Bieber.
Got it.
That's Kendall.
That's
She looks
Kendall.
incredible.
I will say this. This is
Also, look at Io Edberry, man.
argu-
Oh shit! I didn't even see this. She looks great.
This is arguably the most, I don't want to say conservative, but the most like dialed in theme I've seen in the Met Gala in a long time. Because sometimes it's just like cakes and everyone dresses crazy and they
Yeah.
look dumb. And so none of these people look dumb. They all look
Yeah.
actually pretty incredible. Anna Wintour.
Yeah, I don't know. I just for some reason like this just.
I mean, everyone
Doesn't
just
do
kind of
anything.
nailed it, I guess. I want to see Walton
Yeah,
I mean,
except for
Goggins.
everybody
Lisa.
looks great.
Except for Lisa. Come on.
Yeah, what's the word with Walter Goggins?
Well, Walton Goggins was.
Or Walton Goggins, sorry.
We gotta look at what he's wearing because
You might have to control F because there's a lot in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
he was in that top image, and I was like, this one might be one where you go, if you see this out of context, you might be like, this is a
Feel like,
little offensive.
I gotta go home.
Yeah.
I don't think it's loading unless I scroll down.
Okay.
Just keep scrolling. We'll find it. Scroll.
Yeah, you gotta love looking at
Yeah, but it
these.
is cool to watch like the live stream and stuff. Lance is really into it, so I
What
watched
do
a
they
little
do
bit.
after
did you
this?
watch it?
Is it
I
like a
watched- yeah, yeah.
show?
Do you know
Like-
who's hosting it? Like,
They have multiple hosts from different places.
Oh,
but
go
they
back
had,
and let's see
was
Sabrina
Vanessa Hudgens
Carpenter.
back? They
I
always
don't know.
had
The one I
Vanessa
was
Hudgens.
watching, it had
That looks good.
Tiana Taylor.
Tiana Taylor. Almost said Trump.
Who's that, Jenny Ortega?
You know what?
I almost fuck up every time. It's not good.
I was thinking about that earlier. Of like,
About
I've done
what?
that. I've done that before. Like not on since Kind of Funny, but like my previous podcast, OK Beast.
You
I
would say
remember
Tiana
like
Trump a lot.
no, I meant to say like the name of like an actress or a character, and I accidentally said the name of a porn star, and I felt so ashamed.
Yeah.
And now
you
that years
shouldn't.
passed, I'm like,
Oh,
oh
wow.
no, that's not something to be ashamed about. But
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh, that you admitted to watching porn.
yeah,
Yeah, something that
I
no one
know.
knows
How
here.
sad
No
that
one
was.
would ever do that.
Nobody
No
would
one
ever
would
do
ever
that
do
shit.
that. The dark ages when we couldn't talk about
People
porn.
are saying we should see
Holly
Andre
Berry.
3000 as well.
Holly Berry. Fucking, oh my gosh.
How many people
Okay,
go to the
Jane.
Met Gala?
Oh, hey.
Is that Jane Smith? Who's that?
Yeah,
That's Jaden
Smith.
Jaden Smith. I mean, lots. I think you have to be invited, right?
You have to be invited. You have to be a famous celebrity. You have
Yeah,
to
You have
I
to
won't-
donate money,
donate
right?
money. Probably.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like it's a pay to play
It's
thing.
it's dumb.
It's a pay to play.
Is that Sydney Sweeney? Go back up.
Zoom in a little bit on that. Enhance.
I don't
I
think-
believe that is.
That
Oh,
is
is it?
a
Oh, it
definite-
is. Yeah.
Enhanced.
Wow. She looks great.
And then after that,
That
we
was
got
great.
the kid from the,
I know my Sydney.
we got the bear right there. The kid
I
from
see
the
that in a
bear.
fast scroll. I was like, that's Sydney right
yeah,
there.
I'll zoom in a little bit. Let's have a conversation.
Also, you see Dochi. Have you already passed Dochi? Dochi
No,
looked
is
great
she down
too.
there?
I don't know. We got to zoom in a little bit.
Whoa, whoa! Oh my
God
god,
damn it.
He's working.
We
it.
broke OBS.
We broke
it's
it.
okay.
We broke OBS.
Something's
It's
not-
pizza time.
It's pizza
All
time,
right,
everybody.
ladies and
It's been a
gentlemen,
great
we'll
time.
we'll take a look at Walton Goggins offline
Wait.
and double check his outfit.
Hold
But
on.
Oh, no, wait,
This
things
is
are actually-
insane.
Kevin's
like-
gone 300%.
It's magnified everything. There we go.
There we
it
go.
is.
Let's just before we go, can you type in Google Walton Goggins Met Gala 2025?
Yeah.
I just want Blessing's perspective on what he's wearing.
Only
And then
15K
we
to
go.
get in. That's a bargain right there.
15,000 to get in? I'd do that tomorrow. I crowdfund that tomorrow.
And you'll get in a day late.
15,000?
Nick's at the Met Gala. It's already
Here's
closed.
the thing. I would never pay 15,000 to go to a party for one night, but I'd think about it for the Met Gala.
I mean, if you
party?
got money like that, yeah, it's easy.
I mean, that would be a sick party, but 15,000 is a
I mean,
lot.
it's a networking
that-
thing, right? Like you're
I
in
don't think
with.
they're doing
Who
much
am I going to
networking.
network
So this is
with?
what Walton Goggins.
Don't-
Okay,
don't
it's not
the-
bad.
You think
the-
Dochi's going to give me a job?
Don't the
There's no
designers pay
networking
for
happening.
it?
What is he wearing?
I don't know.
What is the
I fuck with
Kevin?
it.
Is there a way I can see like the bottom part of it? Is this like a
You can zoom in. Yeah, click on it.
these pants?
I think it's
There's
like
a skirt?
Like a skirt?
It's cute. I like it.
It's inside out?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm feeling this.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Mr. Hawks and Chat says, would Greg pay $15,000 to get to the Met Gala as Tim?
As Tim.
As Tim Geddes.
I
That's a
like
great
that.
question, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a question you're going to have to ask
a kilt.
yourself as we round out this episode of the Kind of Funny podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Remember, if you guys are watching live right now, Pokemon happening
Yep.
after this. Stay tuned. We go back to Johto. We're going to take on Lugia. We're going to try to beat the Elite Four. We're going to have some fun, of course, with your support. If you guys can't watch right now, if you got to go back to work, you got other stuff to do, that will be posted later. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it has been our pleasure to serve you.
Pizza time.